While our cabin crew demonstrates the safety features on this flight, please raise both hands up in the sky. Now slowly wave from the left to the right. Left, right, 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 left, right.
John Carroll's already still. God, I forgot I had this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's game featuring your University of Toledo Rockets against John Carroll University. Today's game is sponsored by Pokemon, and our starting lineups are brought to you by the Harbaugh family. Starting for John Carroll at defense, number 7, Matt Sabelli. Also at defense, number 23, Luke Deacon. At right wing, number 26, Zach Zemrak. At left wing, number 18, Austin Mallett. At center, number 17, Sam Hurd. And in goal, number 40, Brody Lurch. John Carroll is coached by Scott Chantry. And now, your University of Toledo Rockets. From Gibraltar, Michigan, at defense, number 2, Jack Borinsky. From Kidnap, British Columbia, at defense, number 26, Adam Ferreira. From Sylvania, Ohio, at right wing, number 9, Tristan Packelhofer. From Canada, Ontario, at left wing, number 7, TK Malumba. From Onion Lake, Saskatchewan, at center, number 17, Grayson Chell. And in net for your Rockets, from Liberty Township, Ohio, number 31, Blake Mitchell. Your Toledo Rockets are coached by Kyle Measles, assisted by Craig Trigo, Anthony Holly, and Simone Denise. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to rise for the playing of both Canadian and American
After a tough loss to the Blue Streaks last night, tonight from the Ice House, the Toledo Rockets seek revenge on Cancer Night. Good evening from the Mick Gonzalez broadcast booth inside the Ice House. I'm Ben Wilcox again here on Cancer Night with funds going to the Victory Center here in Toledo. The Rockets coming out in some beautiful hot pink sweaters here tonight as they will start Blake Mitchell in goal for the Rockets. It is Brody Lurch for the Blue Streaks of John Carroll, who will get the start in net. For the Rockets, a tough 7-3 loss last night to these very Blue Streaks over in the Cleveland area. As opening faceoff going to be taken by Grayson Chell, and we are underway. Rockets control, and will send it in to the offensive zone. Around to get that is Lurch. But the Rockets buzzing early. This one played out to the point, but comes past everyone. Back to get that, Adam Ferreira. Getting good pressure put on by Austin Malley of the Blue Streaks. Rockets try to clear through center, but that goes through everyone. Icing waved off, went right through Deacon's legs. Mwamba throws it right out in front, but caught by his line mate, and they will work the cycle. Therefore, Oviedo throws it back for Mwamba, working behind the goal. Has Deacon on him. Mwamba turning, looking for help, looking for a backhand in front, and that one sticked over and out of danger. I think Brody Lurch got his paddle out on it, and it plays back out to center ice. Good start for the Rockets. Back in comes Ferreira, throws that in on goal, and we get a whistle just under a minute in. Your first period brought to you by Stello's Burgers and Fries. TK Mwamba coming in, leading the Rockets with 11 points, 3 goals and 8 assists. Peckelhofer right behind him with 10, 7 goals and 3 assists. Puck bouncing as unable to get on that. Dante Pellegrino turned over to the Blue Streaks, played out in front. Wrist shot just sent wide by Martin. Had pressure coming from Brendan St. Julian. Rockets back the other way. They dump it in. Big hit behind the boards as Faustin Ushindi going after it. Cronin plays it around for the Blue Streaks, but pinching in from the point. And then a big hit there as Oviedo steps into Ushindi. Weaving out of his own zone. Here comes Andrew St. Julian. Plays it up. They were onside, but turned back over to John Carroll. Clean to gain the zone, but taken off. Played back to the point. Shot blocked. Deacon shot. They score. And with less than 3 minutes into the first period, John Carroll draws first blood. That'll be Sean Deacon. And a good start for the Blue Streaks after they weathered the storm out of Toledo. Lavrinchik able to win it back. Rockets around behind the goal, but a fast forecheck coming on here from John Carroll. Charlie Maroon and Tanner Plinta on the assist for that John Carroll goal. Rockets looking to spring all the way up there and unable to control it, Lavrinchik. But they do gain the zone, and they've got numbers. No, they're offsides. Good crowd on hand here from the Rocket faithful. John Carroll traveling a good loud crowd over as well. Face-off won by the Blue Streaks. Charlie Mitchell gains the zone, sends that one in. Shot from the point there, got underneath. Blake Mitchell didn't know where it was, but they get a whistle. Face-off won by John Carroll as Matt Cavelli just sends that into the far corner. And Wu, a nice job to force a turnover. John Carroll well offsides. That puck mishandled by Mihalenko. That'll come all the way down, and that'll be icing against the Rockets. 16:38 to go in the first period. 1-0 our score. Sean Deacon scoring less than 3 minutes in for the Blue Streaks if you've just joined us. And now we'll change where the faceoff goes. Trying to get a late change there. Noah Smakel, nothing doing there. Won by John Carroll to the point, shot through, saved by Mitchell. Rockets looking to clear the zone, but Malley forces the turnover. And Wamba gets it back from Zemrak, sends it in. Over to get that. Chell. Back down for Mwamba. He takes a hit. Gets it back out, throws it in front, couldn't find a stick. Blast from the point goes well wide. Rockets can't hold the zone, and they got to be quick coming back the other way, but that'll go all the way. No, icing waved off. Malley in on the forecheck. Rockets through center, gain the zone, and are in on the delayed offside. Called a few times back and forth by the official. Martin will send it in for John Carroll. Turned over. Back out to neutral ice, but again, John Carroll getting players back quickly and not allowing any rush coming forward out of the Rockets so far. Long dump in. Trying to wind up with speed now, Pellegrino. Leaves it for St. Julian. Good poke check there to force the turnover. Here's Oviedo, drops it back, wrist shot. That gets sticked over the glass and out of play. Brendan St. Julian got hands free, but stick got in front of him and forced it up into the netting. St. Julian coming in tonight, 4 goals, 3 assists. Rockets played to the point, quick wrist shot there, kicked away. Gets in on Lurch again, and he gets it covered. Good bit of pressure coming out of Toledo now as they even up the shots, 3 apiece. Face-off thrown into the far corner. Blue Streaks, Deacon, nice lead pass there for LaGreca. And he is stopped at the blue line, and Toledo will go for a change. Winding up here is Oviedo, but then he's taken off by Deacon. Tuggy gets a shoulder check there from Pellegrino. Back the other way come the Rockets. Mizzy gains the zone. Tries to fight through, leaves it on there for Messier. Played back to center ice. Now coming in with speed, LaGreca. Good back and forth pass. LaGreca tries to get the shot off. Good save by Mitchell. He had to get left to right to left again. Made a good save as LaGreca was fighting with the puck a little bit. Now the scrum along the corner. Nearly picking a pocket there was Tuggy. He leads this Carroll team 9 goals, 9 assists. Sean Deacon right behind him. Came in tonight, 6 goals, makes it a 7th, along with 9 assists. Dangerous pass there for Nadzum. Puck dumped in, Mitchell getting after it, in for the Rockets. Justin Beaverson, he's upended. And turning with it, Chell, and that gets played into the Rocket bench. 12:50 to go here in the first. Shots 4-3 in favor of the Blue Streaks. Chipped up along the near side boards as Mwamba coming in forcefully here on the forecheck, able to win it behind the goal. Tried to throw it back behind him, but then he's taken down there by Luke Deacon. And Mwamba gets it back. As he gives the stick there to Matt Cavelli. Rockets win it back. Digging in there, Packelhofer. This top line of the Rockets has looked good. They've held the zone nicely, but turned over here in the top of the slot. Here come the Blue Streaks the other way. Eating the zone there, then fanning on it, Luke Deacon. But earns it right back. Tried to play it to the point. Good poke check there. That was important by Josh Bisson. Played to the point, and Rockets able to hold it in, and then getting blown up, Zach Zemrak. Out wide from Alley. Puck turned over there, shot on goal, saved nicely by Mitchell. Rockets trying to clear the zone, but right to Ushindi. And bouncing puck nearly kicked to himself by Brendan St. Julian. But again, John Carroll sends it back in, and now some conversation here going on between Ushindi and Brendan St. Julian. We got a roughing penalty at least one way, maybe two. They're for sure sending Brendan St. Julian, and it looks like Ushindi will just head back to the bench. So first power play of the evening. Going to go to John Carroll. This is a John Carroll team coming in at about a 30% rate on their power play. Big face-off here for Messier. Messier able to jam it up. Rockets get it clear and get it out to neutral ice. Smakel coming on with a ton of speed on the forecheck, able to force it loose. They give it back though. Here comes Tuggy with speed. Tuggy all the way in, backhanded just over the crossbar. They're going to say it caught the protective netting. Tuggy hit a second gear as the net gets dislodged, and he nearly had a gorgeous backhand goal. 1:40 to go in the penalty to Brendan St. Julian. Tuggy from the point. Takes a hit there, and Nick LeBeau got his stick caught right between Tuggy's helmet and his shoulder pad. Now LeBeau has 3 Blue Streaks on it. They turn it over in front and unable to get the shot off there. Pellegrino. Nearly a great shorthanded chance. But Pellegrino forces the turnover. Great lead pass, walking it alone to the forehand. Can't pull the trigger. Tristan Packelhofer had lurched dead to rights and just lost the puck at the last second. Under a minute to go in the power play. Deacon drops it down low. Zemarack up to the point. Point to point for Tuggy. To the top of the slot. Puck gets deflected, and good job on that redirection. Glove save by Blake Mitchell. He holds on with 39 seconds to go in the penalty. John Carroll, really both teams getting plenty of opportunities. They've been a little loose with the puck. Be Sam Herr in for the faceoff for the Blue Streaks, but they're going to take a penalty as well, as nearly coming in shorthanded. Simon Lavrinchik, he gets upended, and Deacon will head to the box, and that will take care of the first power play for the Blue Streaks. So 33 seconds of 4-on-4. The Rockets will get a truncated power play out of this, barring any other penalties. Interference the call, but here comes Malley in the 4-on-4. Wrist shot off the post and turned over. They play to the point. Cavelli, they'll go point to point. Cavelli holds, fires, and good save getting on top of his crease. Mitchell, another shot on Mitchell, another save. The Rockets clear it down. That'll come down for an icing, as the penalty's still active to Brendan St. Julian, but two big saves by Blake Mitchell to keep the Rockets within one. Shots now 9-3 in favor of John Carroll. Standing up in his box, St. Julian. Rockets will get about 90 seconds of power play time here, as St. Julian comes out of the box. Rockets set up this power play. It'll start with Messier. He leaves it behind. And we'll go to change. Rockets get their power play unit out. Winding up Andrew St. Julian, but he's met right at the blue line, and the Blue Streaks fired all the way down. 1:02 to go in the power play. Pellegrino through neutral ice will leave it. And coming on now on the backhand, Bisson gets the shot. Good save. Rockets go point to point. Pellegrino cutting down low. And to the back door, shot on and sticked away somehow there by Lurch. It was a great play to the backside for Josh Bisson. 26 seconds to go in the power play. Wade has it somewhere in his equipment, drops back down, and he'll kill a little time, but turns it over. Wade able to win it back. And will skate past the pressure. Wade going to take it himself. He's shorthanded. He's onside, and then finally taken off the puck, but there's going to be a penalty coming against the Rockets. And Wade may go as well, as he was getting into it, and now gets into it with Brendan St. Julian. 3 seconds left in the penalty, in the first penalty. Wade will head to the bench, and so the only guilty party here going to be Andrew St. Julian. But now the official's talking about it. Nick Messier out there getting the information from the referees. Now it does look like they've sent Plinta in for John Carroll. Andrew St. Julian in as well. So John Carroll in 3 seconds are going to get their man back out. We should have 3 seconds of 4-on-3. Right now, both teams still talking it out. I don't believe either one called a timeout. Official telling John Carroll to get it moving. So it'll be a 3-on-4 for John Carroll with an offensive zone faceoff. A wild way for all of that to play out. But it is indeed matching minors to Andrew St. Julian and Tanner Plinza. Face-off won by the Rockets, and we are right back to 4-on-4. Over the boards, Cubs Sean Deacon. So a good 2 minutes of 4-on-4 here as the Rockets try to come through neutral ice, but they were stopped by LaGreca. The near side for Ushindi. Shindy snapshot there and snared by Mitchell. He'll hold on for a whistle. Rockets win the face-off cleanly. There was Anthony Oviedo. As they try the stretch pass, that comes all the way through. That'll be a shot on goal officially, and Brody Lurch will get it covered. Shots now 10-5 in favor of John Carroll. 1:16 left in the minor penalties. Again, Ben Wilcox with you here from the Team Toledo Ice House. We've got Craig Trago, who both coaches the goalies and pushes all the ones and twos, directing this 5-star broadcast here tonight. Diane Woodring showing exactly how much of that I should be on this camera, which is not at all. They turn it back over, and just whiffing on that shot was Tuggy. And that one gets popped up and nicely snared there by Ryan Santini on the bench by the Rockets. 52 seconds left in the matching minors. John Carroll winds up again with speed. Here is Deacon. Luke Deacon into the zone, but taking off the puck right at the blue line, and the Rockets with 35 seconds left in 4-on-4. Bring it back through, tried to send that to Peckelhofer. Here's a lead shot there, and good glove save by Brody Lurch. Face off to the right of Lurch as John Carroll send it around. Rockets hold the zone. 18 seconds left in 4-on-4. Turned over. Here comes Cronin into the zone. Waits for help to arrive, and then that pass blocked, and Rinsky put a shoulder in him. Cronin got another shot and then put a stick up in the mask of Blake Mitchell. And he almost had to answer to that from Grayson Chell, but I don't think anything more will come of it. Now also gets some pushback from Pellegrino. Pellegrino seems to have a good foot on, that was Charlie Maroon he was having a conversation with. 7 seconds in the 4-on-4. Rockets send it back to their own corner. Both teams return to 5-on-5 with 5:30 to go here in the first period. 1-0, John Carroll on top of Toledo. Big hit there in center ice as Justin Beaverson stands up a man. Rockets trying to clear it up, but held in by the Blue Streaks. Trying to dig away at that, Ben Nadzum. And then slow to get up there was Camden Martin. He might have taken a stick up high, and we also have a penalty coming here against the Rockets. It'll be a high stick. It looks like this will be Brendan St. Julian going in for his second of the period. .452 to go as St. Julian sits for two for high sticking. Deacon fires, blocker save by Mitchell. Deacon winds again, and a good glove save by Mitchell. He's been sharp, as that is now 14 shots on goal for John Carroll in this first period. Rockets win at the near side corner. They go point to point, winding shot there, save, puck loose and cleared down by Smakel. Tuggy has Pellegrino on him. 1:23 to go in the penalty. Deacon leaves that for Tuggy. Tuggy gains the zone, tried to throw it in front. That one got off the equipment of Mitchell. Back behind the goal, 1:08 to go in the penalty. Rockets dig at it, they get it out to neutral ice, and getting on his high horse, Lavrinchik. But Cronin back for it. On for Tuggy. They send it down low for Zimrak. Deacon, puck bouncing on him. He gets tied up with Ferreira. Ferreira upended, and then he gives it back to Deacon. LaGreca up to the point. Cronin. Tuggy. And intercepted and sent down by Justin Beaverson. John Carroll get one more rush here. Cronin gains the zone. Stick handles through everybody to the backhand. Two kick saves by Mitchell. And Cronin couldn't put the third one home. Toledo kills the penalty. And no bigger penalty killer than Blake Mitchell, who came up with a couple 10-bell saves. Here's Mwamba in alone, snap just wide. Puck back behind, and Mwamba gets pinned along the boards. Rockets bring it out to the point. Point to point there, Ferreira sends it through, but that gets deflected into the corner. Mwamba digs it free, but it comes out to neutral ice, and this will head back to the Rocket zone. 2 minutes to go here in the first period. 1-0 our score, John Carroll on top. And could be worse if not for Blake Mitchell making some heroic saves. Here come the Rockets. Through center ice to the forehand, and shoulder save there by Lurch as Anthony Oviedo cut in hard, leaves it there at the point. Blast from the point, well wide. Blue Streak blew a tire there. That was Lucas Wu. Then he gives it right back to one of the Rockets. They'll come back through neutral ice. Malley holds up. He'll dump it back in with 1 minute to play here in the first period. Oh, bad turnover out in front, and that one just chipped over the goal. Sam Herr had a great opportunity, passing it to himself. Pellegrino off the boards. Sent around, and Malley had it in his skates and is able to get it into the zone. They'll go for a change. 36 seconds to play in the first. As upended there, Pellegrino looking for some help. They turn it over in front. Another save on the doorstep by Mitchell. He's had 3 or 4 point-blank saves that he had to make thanks to turnovers. This one cleared back out to neutral ice. John Carroll dump it back in on the laid-off side, but that will do it as the final few seconds tick down here in the first period. Sean Deacon, your lone goal scorer for the Blue Streaks. Shot 16-7 in favor of John Carroll, and that is all after one. We will take a break. Second period coming up. Second period on tap here from the Team Toledo Ice House. 1-0 your score. Blue Streaks on top of the Rockets. Ben Wilcox here with you as we get ready for a second period where Toledo going to be looking for much more of a jump after they got some heroics out of Blake Mitchell in the first period. Shot 16-7 in favor of John Carroll. So I want to shout out Stello's Burgers and Loaded Fries here, sponsor of our second period. Puck jammed up along the near boards. Tuggy brings us back in. It's a 3-on-1 for John Carroll. Tuggy, though, can't get the pass away. Good defense. Put on by the sliding body of Adam Ferreira. They bring it out in front again. LaGreca tries to send it to the back door, but that's sticked away. John Carroll, long snapshot there, kicked out by Mitchell. And puck up in the air as finally the Rockets come back through. Quick shot, kick save by Brody Lurch. He has not been too busy tonight so far, but he's been sharp. Here comes Tuggy back the other way. Drop pass to LaGreca. Good save by Blake Mitchell, and he holds on. Some open up and down action here in the first period. Second period, beg your pardon. 18-8 shots. Lone goal scored so far by Sean Deacon of the Blue Streaks. Assists to Tanner Plinta and Charlie Maroon. Shot by Stratmeyer, just sticked wide. That took a deflection and just missed the goal. Stripmatter can't hold the zone. Rockets trying to bring the forecheck. That'll be sticked into the zone. Blue Streaks come straight back in. Wade gets run into the boards. Wins it back, sends it to the point. Stripmeyer, another deflection. That's a good kick save as Sean Deacon looking to redirect it. Rockets regain control. Here they come. Gaining the red line there, dumping it in. Brendan St. Julian. He had 2 penalties in the first period. Going to look to have a rebound here. And then a huge hit there as standing up. That was Camden Martin laying the boom, and he's still talking about it with Oviedo. Another big hit back the other way. That was coming in from behind, but no call given. Setwater in front, and 2 good saves again. Blake Mitchell, he has had Blue Streak players right in the goal mouth 3-4 times now in this game, and he has stood tall. Rockets win the face-off. He'll send this one all the way down. Icing waved off. Good job to get there and beat it out right in front, and a smooth save there. That was a great job to feed it out to Nick Messier, and an even better glove save by Brody Lurch. Shots now 20-9 in favor of the Blue Streaks. Just under 17 minutes to go here in the second period on Cancer Night. Rockets sporting those pink sweaters and socks. As funds from tonight going to the Victory Center, a group that does tremendous work here in the Toledo area. Toledo looking for the get back after a tough loss to these Blue Streaks last night. Her walking in, another good save, and then the rebound sent over the top of the glass and out of play. Blake Mitchell, absolutely the best Rocket here tonight. They'll bring this one out to neutral ice. Rockets on the late change. They'll send out Noah Smakel. Blue Streaks win it, throw it right into the zone. As that's jammed up, Wu comes back in. And send out Mitchell on the backhand. Rebound, another save by Mitchell, and he holds. Blake Mitchell's been getting shelled, but he has held firm. Rockets dump it in. Deacon sends that around to the boards as that one's fired right in on goal. Kick saved by Lurch. Another play in there. Player upended. Toledo fans looking for a call, not getting one. That seemed pretty clear interference from up here. But officials let it go. Up to the point. Point to point wrist shot. Glove save. Seen it the whole way. That was Jack Ferinsky on the shot, but Lurch had eyes all the way in. Some more pushing and shoving here as Noah Smakel asking about the lack of call from the last shift. .36 to go in the second. Always appreciate playing some Wheatus here in the Team Toledo Ice House. Another shot in and covered up immediately there by Lurch. I was also glad to see I was not the only one inside this booth who knew Teenage Dirtbag. Shot hard angle there. That heads well wide as they do finally realize that Brody Lurch had pushed off, and now we got some more contact down in the corner. Yeah, Lurch had pushed off and I think just took the net right off its anchor there. Shots now 13-22. Again, John Carroll, they have had very much the balance of offense, but Toledo starting to find some momentum. Mwamba taking off the puck. Tuggy up forward on sides is Deacon, but can't control it, and that's fired around by Mitchell. Icing waved off as Cavelli got to get back after it quickly. And LaGreca has Tuggy. 2-on-1 for the Blue Streaks. On for LaGreca, but right through his wickets. John Carroll looking to feed this back out in front again, but Toledo defense stiffening. Up to the point for Deacon. His shot deflected. Another turning shot that just heads wide. LaGreca, he has been very dangerous. They send it out wide again, and that pass nearly intercepted. Back for Deacon, and tough angle shot fought off there by Mitchell. Bouncing puck there as Strittmatter trying to get a handle on it. Tuggy, who seems like he's been out there for a good 2 minutes at this point. Leaves it to the point. Strittmatter's shot deflected, and that one rolled in on the leg of Mitchell. They played in front again, and Tuggy finally puts it home. He was all alone in the goal mouth as John Carroll got nearly 2 complete changes there while that puck was pinned down in the Toledo offensive zone, and they finally cash in. It is 2-0 Blue Streaks. For Tuggy, that now his 10th goal on the season. He has been dangerous all night. Anthony LaGreca on the assist. Toledo sends it back in. They have got to start to find some momentum here. Back out comes Ushindi. Blue Streaks gain the zone, and that one forced off the stick of Tanner Plinta. Back out to neutral ice, trying to turn with it there, Bassan. Bassan fights off the forecheck there and can't get through the body that time of Camden Martin. And he comes back, throws a check. Toledo trying to play it out in front, but right to a Blue Streak stick, and here comes Martin. Martin has Cronin out wide, back in front and pushed out wide, and the net off its moorings. As that was incredibly close to a 3-0 game. But Toledo hold on. .12:46 to go in a second period. Shots 25-13 now in favor of the Streaks. Blue Streaks go point to point. Strip matter. Winds, and that one well wide. Held in by Ushindi. Can't hold that second one in, and John Carroll going quick on the delayed offsides. Upended behind his own goal there was Faubert. And then that one played into the John Carroll bench, and that'll draw a whistle. 12:02 to go. Now some discussion on where exactly this faceoff goes. Again, the kind of odd layout here at the Team Toledo Ice House where both teams' benches are fully in the respective offensive zones, but they keep it in the John Carroll offensive end. Through center ice, 2-on-1 for the Rockets if they hurry. Charging down in is Lavrinchik. Plays it to the point. Shot through, stopped in the goal mouth. Here comes Mitchell back the other way. Mitchell to the forehand, can't control it. Rockets back out again with speed. To the near side here, Mizzy. His shot blockered away by Lurch. Wraparound attempt. Lurch down and out, but got the save. Lurch might have blown a tire as play was coming around. And then a huge hit is coming over the middle. There was Henry Check. Might have been a whistle for offside just as he came in, but Henry Check was sent for a ride. Digging in for it there is Chell, but won by John Carroll. They send it down to the Rocket zone. And that pass just thrown right to Tuggy. Walks in and he scores. A brutal turnover. As Toledo were looking for the long stretch pass, Tuggy snared it like a shortstop and buried it. those are the kind of mistakes that Toledo can ill afford to make, and especially to someone like Tuggy. John Carroll bench all fired up for that one as well. Give Luke Deacon the assist there, but frankly, that should have probably been to the Rocket that threw it right at him. Rockets do regain the zone, tried to throw that to the backhand, to the backside, nothing doing as Brendan St. Julian was all tied up. This comes back the other way, icing against the Blue Streaks. Halfway through this second period, it is now 3-0 John Carroll. Shots 26-16 in their favor as well as Toledo try to find some kind of an answer offensively. That shot deflected to the near side glass as Cavelli upended coming around the corner there. He tried to feed it on for Tuggy. This will come all the way back down, and no, icing waved off. Under 10 minutes to go in what has been a very fast-paced second period. LaGreca gains the zone, and then Tuggy takes a shoulder there. And he's got some more to say to Anthony Oviedo. Anthony's been in the mix quite a bit tonight. LaGreca upended, and we get a whistle and hands up high. As LaGreca tied up here with Andrew St. Julian, and another mob forms at center ice. But cooler heads prevail. See if we get penalties out of this. So far, officials have not signaled anything. Now it looks like they're going to send Andrew St. Julian. See if anybody goes for John Carroll. Toledo understandably frustrated. Now Martin being ushered to the John Carroll bench. It'll be a slashing call officially against Toledo. John Carroll getting their third power play of the evening. Then one of the Rockets players was down having a conversation with Brody Lurch. Like that was Brendan St. Julian. So face off to the right of Blake Mitchell. Third power play of the evening for John Carroll. They are 0 for 2 so far. Another clearing attempt right up the middle. This one does get out to neutral ice. And nice job on that forecheck by Lavrinchik. He broke that pass up, and this will come all the way down, rolling right in on Blake Mitchell, and he'll get it covered. .902 to go in the second, 1:35 left in the slashing call to Andrew St. Julian. 3-0 our score. John Carroll have been in firm command. Rockets trying to find an answer. Wade leaves it for Deacon. Deacon down low. Has her. Wade to the backside, up for Deacon. Good puck movement out of the blue streaks. That shot wide. Her on the rebound. He scores on the backhand right off the boards. And now tempers flaring. There will likely be another Toledo penalty coming out of this. Camden Martin going to go through the handshake line as they finally pull everyone apart. And that'll be Noah Smakel who goes in. He was given the stick to a player well after the goal. So Noah Smakel is in. They still haven't taken the penalty off yet for Andrew St. Julian. And now are they going to send someone as well for John Carroll? It looks like that's going to be Henry Check going in for unsportsmanlike. Beg your pardon, that will be Camden Martin going in. And it looks like we're going to go 4 aside here. With 8:43 to go. There's Sam Herr set up by Luke Deacon. That's the second assist of the night for Deacon as players tied up behind the play, but nothing called there. John Carroll comes in off sides. Rockets back the other way and taken right off the puck by Sean Deacon as that shot wristed wide. That was Tristan Packelhofer coming in earlier. LaGreca into the zone. They throw it back to the point, but that gets away from Ushindi. 1:08 to go in 4-on-4. Score now 4-0 John Carroll. Here comes Malley. In on the backhand. Had no help there. It'll turn back to the Rockets, but they just throw it to neutral ice. Got the turnover, but on the delayed offside. 37 seconds left. As Ben Nadzum sends it in. Pass across, they score. What a floating pass from Tuggy to Austin Malley to get him on the board. And John Carroll have opened up the floodgates. And Charlie Tuggy having himself a night. 2 goals and an assist. Now up to 21 points on this season. In just his 11th game. 9 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Assist as well to Ben Nadzum. Teams return to 5-on-5. Cronin battling his way through. .6:30 to go. Cronin out wide. And charging in here, Camden Martin on the backhand, but snared by Mitchell, and he holds on. And we'll do it again. Toledo going to send Brendan St. Julian to take this face off. Controlled by the Rockets. Pushing his way through neutral ice, Pellegrino. His shot wide of the net. And then a John Carroll player torpedoed his goalie. That's something you see very often there. Luke Deacon, I think, blew a tire as he was coming around and went right underneath Brody Lurch. It's a good way to get a knee blown out. And then going up over the top there was Nick Messier. Up and over Henry Check. And Rockets right in front, just can't tip that one home. Net off its moorings. They did a good job to try to find Nick Messier on the back door. .5:53 to play in the second. 5-0 our score in favor of John Carroll. 2 goals from Charlie Tuggy. Sean Deacon, Sam Herr, and Austin Malley adding to it. 2 assists on the evening for Luke Deacon. Zemrak, he takes a ride there from Pellegrino. Backhand along the far side as trying to get after that Messier. This will be chipped back into the Toledo zone. Back the other way come the Rockets. That pass too quick for Messier, but they get the rebound and shot onto the back door. They score! Toledo have finally broken the ice. It's Nick Messier on a great give and go. And with 5:15 to go in the second, the Rockets have broken through. Some pushing and shoving afterwards. But Toledo have been looking for that backdoor pass all night. They're also going to send Sam Herr into the box. And so here's a huge chance for the Rockets. Scoring a goal so big they just blew our camera right off the tripod. So a goal and an ensuing power play for Toledo to try to get back in business. Maybe some discussion there on exactly who was meant to have the assists. Puck sent in as the Rockets get a power play. Andrew St. Julian on the assist to Nick Messier. For Messier, that is his first goal of the season and a huge one for the Rockets. 1:15 to go in their power play, only their second of the evening. Boy, if they could convert here, this could be a whole new game. But here's LaGreca, shorthanded breakaway. LaGreca walking in, fought off. Wade, rebound. Saved there by Mitchell. Mitchell's got Wade's stick caught up in his equipment. This comes all the way down. It's going to be an icing call against the Rockets on the power play. But again, two more huge saves from Blake Mitchell with nobody coming back for the Rockets. For Andrew St. Julian, that's his 7th assist on the season, up to 8 points on the year. Rockets wind up, 35 seconds to go in their second power play of the evening. To the near side, Lavrinchik throws it in front, puck loose in the goal mouth. John Carroll clears to the point, but not out. Lavrinchik shot kick save there by Lurch. And they still hold the zone. 20 seconds to go. Here come the Rockets again. Toe drag, kick save, rebound forced wide. Nice toe drag there from Packelhofer. And the Rockets still able to hold the zone. They've done a great job at the point on this power play. They've got 5 seconds to go, point to point. Back up high, shot through, they score! With a second to go in the power play, the Rockets are back in business. A rip from the point by Adam Ferreira. And suddenly a 5-goal game is a 3-goal game. A power play goal for Toledo when they needed it most. Crowd firing up now as the Rockets have found life.
At 3:15 for the second period, 2 goals scored by number 26, Adam Ferreira. With an assist number 9, Tristan Packelhofer. Ferreira from Packelhofer.
Tristan Packelhofer on the assist. And here come the Rockets again. 2:41 to go. On the backhand, kick save there. That was a nice cut by Pellegrino to his backhand. You can feel the momentum starting to shift back Toledo's way, but here come the Blue Streaks. Mitchell through neutral ice. Taking off the puck there and forced back to neutral ice, and penalty coming up here. It's going to be against the Rockets. Brody Lurch with a long trek to try to get to his bench. Got a little interfered with there by Messier. Cronin, extra attacker out for the Blue Streaks, but turned over here, and with 1:55 to go in the second. May be an interference penalty coming here against Toledo. Andrew, I beg pardon, it's going to be Brendan St. Julian going in. Putting up 3 fingers. It has been that kind of a night for Brendan. John Carroll going to get their 4th power play here late in the second. And if Toledo are going to battle back in this game, they really need to kill this penalty. Blue Streaks win it to the point. Tuggy goes point to point, shot through, high and wide, off the stick of Sean Deacon. Turned over, and the Rockets will push it back down, trying to get after that. Lavrinchik. Cronin, cross ice pass. And again, cleared down confidently there by the Rockets. 1:18 to go in the period. About 6 more seconds of power play time than time in the period here. Cronin in behind the goal, and then he's upended. Losing his lumber there was Adam Ferreira. Tuggy walking in, his shot blocked. Good job to get the leg down by Pellegrino. Rockets fired down. Pellegrino was breaking. And he's actually going to get the puck here on the PK. And then taken right off it. John Carroll being a little lackadaisical with the puck right now. 34 seconds to go in the period. Pellegrino just trying to kill time. Now he gets the shot on, and saved there by Brody Lurch. So some good work by the penalty killers of the Rockets, but especially Dante Pellegrino, who's now having a conversation with Colin Cronin. Dante Pellegrino coming in, 1 goal, 3 assists on the season so far. So offensive zone faceoff for the Rockets on the penalty kill. 28 seconds to go in this second period. 2 goals have awoken the Rockets from Adam Ferreira and Nick Messier. As this game looked like it was getting out of hand, but they found 2 quick ones to get back within 3. Passed across here, they're onside and able to battle back to win that puck. Austin Malley leaves it to the point and unable to get the shot away there. Luke Deacon. His shot deflected wide, heads into the corner, and that does it for a very eventful second period. 2 goals from the Rockets to bring them back within 3, including a power play goal from Nick Messier. Adam Ferreira as well. It'll be a big third period. Don't go anywhere. That's coming up in 12 minutes. Big third period coming up here between Toledo and John Carroll. A 5-0 Blue Streak lead is now a 5-2 Blue Streak lead after goals from Adam Ferreira and Nick Messier. Toledo have 5 seconds of power play time to kill off here at the start of the period. And they have done just that. Toledo with a great opportunity as the second half of that second period really swung back their way. Thanks to those goals, shots now 30-26 in favor of John Carroll. And the Rockets have given themselves a fighting chance coming here into the third. They found a way through Brody Lurch, who had been very sharp in the early going. Physicality has definitely picked up in this game as well, and we'll see if that plays to Toledo's favor. This is not a very big team physically in John Carroll. But turned over to Deacon. Deacon hits the brakes and then takes a hit. Again, gets roughed up along the boards to the point. That shot knocked down before it got through. And Mwamba brings it out. Has Packelhofer with him, and then they're taking off the puck. Back in, LaGreca turns to the back door, and that jumped over Tuggy's stick. Mwamba's pass a little wide. As that puck bounced around through neutral ice and then forced into the John Carroll zone. Turned over the top of the slot, shot on, snared there by Brody Lurch. And the Rockets will get an offensive zone face-off here just 90 seconds into the third period. Anthony Oviedo tried to win it back, but immediately jumping that puck. And coming out with it is Martin. Rockets threw that one just to the skates of Oviedo. Comes back in on goal, and quick on the backhand there was Blake Mitchell. And we got a whistle and a penalty coming up behind the play. And it looks like this is going to go against the Rockets. As that'll be Josh Bisson going in. Well, the 5th power play of the evening for John Carroll. They've converted on one. And Toledo with another must kill in order to try to battle back in this one. I want to remind you as well, this third period brought to you by Stello's Burgers and Loaded Fries. Again, just 2 minutes into the third period, Rockets on the penalty kill. Misplayed puck there, Rockets trying to jump on it, Beaverson. Cronin tries to battle around a man, but he's poked off the puck. Rockets to the point, but not out. Tuggy leaves it for Deacon. Deacon. Toe drag and scores. And it's a 4-goal lead again for the Blue Streaks. Their second power play goal of the evening. Sean Deacon's second goal of the evening as well. Plinta into the zone and taken into the boards. Zach Zemrak on the assist for the Blue Streaks. Shot from the point, snagged by Brody Lurch. Face off one cleanly there by the Rockets to the point. Wrist shot deflected on the backhand, just wide off the stick of Nick LeBeau. Rockets going to have to dig deep here, see if they can get one back quickly. Nearly overskating the puck there is Packeloffer. But here's Zemrak, 2-on-1. Zemrak wide, just a little too far behind, and then a trailing shot goes wide. Here's Mwamba. Gains the zone. Quick shot. Swallowed up there by Brody Lurch. Blue Streaks back into the zone. Tuggy, 2 goals so far tonight, but kick saved there by Mitchell. To the point, Cavelli. Shot through, kick save, rebound, and fought off. Net comes off its moorings. As Charlie Tuggy bidding for a hat trick there. He's got 2 goals and an assist tonight. Coming in already with 18 points. Good for nearly 2 points per game, and tonight is only going to help that. Another shot through, good glove save through traffic by Blake Mitchell. (6-2) our score in favor of John Carroll. 15:36 to go here in the third. Toledo found some life in the second period and now really need to dig to try to battle back here in the third. Fans getting into it there along the boards. As Martin comes over, lays a check, but here come the Rockets. Bouncing puck goes wide of the net. And they turn that one over. But comes back to John Carroll. Through the zone with speed. Deacon tried to leave it back there in the slot for Cronin. Actually, Martin, that nice little backhand puck as that one gets up into the rafters, and this will likely stay in the Toledo end. 14:46 left. Again, Cancer Night here from the Team Toledo Ice House. Funds going to the Victory Center of Toledo. Shot there, good job to fight that off. That got up quick on Blake Mitchell. Took it up off the shoulder. Rocket player is upended and slow to get up. That was Justin Beaverson. Back into the zone there, blowing a tire was Messier. Beaverson heads off, he'll get some attention. Here's Check. Puck loose heading to the corner. Rockets try to chip that up, but that catches the rafters again. It is a low ceiling here at the Team Toledo Ice House. And we'll get another face-off to the left of Blake Mitchell. Just under 14 minutes to go. 6-2 our score, again in favor of John Carroll. Face-off controlled by the Rockets. They feed it up for Packelhofer. Packelhofer tries to get around his man. He does to the forehand and left there on the back door. Brody Lurch might have gotten just enough of it. Played to the point but not out. Now it does get around Pellegrino. And unable to control that there was Mitchell, but did at least stay behind the goal. And then an extra shot given there, and that's going to be an easy penalty as Nick Messier just kind of dropped a knee into the back of Sam Herr. Beg your pardon, that is Grayson Chell who's going to go in. Power play number 6 to the Blue Streaks. Puck jammed up in the corner. Roughing officially the call. This puck played to the point. Another player upended. No call. Down on the ice. And now we get all sorts of pushing and shoving, and here we go. As being pulled back up away from the pile was LaGreca. Now emerging from that mess, Brendan St. Julian, he was down. And they're asking for a trainer. Again, another player knocked down behind the play, and officials have not seemed to call that both ways. Zach Zemrak going in. There's a rocket in the box as well. And now there's going to be a misconduct penalty. That's going to go against head coach Kyle Measles. He is furious with the officials, and understandably so. And they're going to throw Kyle Measles out of the game. The Rocket getting up slowly here. Jack Ferinsky. As good to see him getting up under his own power. Right now, Kyle Measles still really giving it to the officials, as that was a pretty clear penalty that should have been called. Anthony Oviedo helping the trainer get off. Looks like they have not thrown Kyle Measles out. They'll just have someone in the box for him. It appears to be St. Julian. Check and Nick Messier talking with the official, seeing what will come out of all of this mess. Under 13 minutes to go. We are going to go 4-on-4 for a third time. Still got a whole mess of penalties up on the board as well, too. Toledo did have Grayson Chell in the box, so this actually should be a 4-on-3 the way this is looking right now. And now they're just going to call coincidental minors. So sure enough, we're going to have, it'll be officially a 5-on-3 for the Blue Streaks. Now Anderson Parker going to serve the penalty for Kyle Measles, so it is a 5-on-3 officially for the Blue Streaks for 90 seconds. Deacon to the back door, fought off there by Mitchell. Another shot through, grabbed by Mitchell, and he holds on as somebody's stick goes flying. .117 to go in the 5-on-3. 12:34 left in the third. Toledo wins the faceoff, clears that one all the way down. Man up top on this penalty kill, Lavrinchik. Also has Ferreira out there along with Beaverson. Malley gains the zone. He'll take it all the way around, play to the point. Deacon with Plinta. And that one deflects out to neutral ice. 46 seconds left in the 5-on-3. In comes Deacon again. Holds at the near point, goes point to point with Plinta. Back for Deacon. They are just taking their time. That one gets behind. Deacon again looks for that saucer pass back for Malley. Shot takes a deflection, heads into the corner. And a bump there. Goal comes off its moorings as Blake Mitchell gets it covered. 13 seconds left in the 5-on-3. .11:30 to go here in the third. 6-2 your score. John Carroll in firm command. Deacon from the point, drops it down for Cronin. Time ticks down. Toledo have killed the 5-on-3. They've got 19 seconds of 5-on-4, and they might go right back on the power play. No, it's going to be a tripping call against John Carroll. And in will go check. Toledo got the 5-on-3 killed and then immediately got the 5-on-4 wiped out. So we'll get 17 seconds of 4-on-4 and Toledo barring any more penalties, we'll get a truncated power play. Blue Streaks win the faceoff, immediately retreat to the back. And coming up with speed here is Deacon. We understand we've got a benches cleared brawl going on in Game 7 of the World Series as well. Toledo out of the box, and they've got 100 seconds of power play time to work with. So Rockets gain the zone. On the power play, down the near side corner. Up for Pellegrino, they go point to point. St. Julian. Pellegrino goes all the way wide. Pellegrino one-timer, but that blast goes wide, climbs the boards, and heads all the way down. Rockets gain the zone again to the forehand, can't get it on goal. To the point, they've got 40 seconds left. Wrist shot, that goes high, climbs the glass, but they hold the zone. Pellegrino on the near side. This one clears down, icing waved off. Blue Streaks still on the penalty kill. 22 seconds. Rockets going to get one more chance to wind up and bring it forward. Gaining the zone, dumping it in there, St. Julian. Rockets from behind the goal, changing their power play unit. 6 seconds on the power play. Try to get it out in front, puck loose. That's cleared, and that's sent all the way down, and that does it for the penalty to Henry Check. Rockets 1 for 3 on the power play tonight. As this comes down, that'll be icing against the Blue Streaks with 8:59 to go. Coincidental Miners release as well. Face-off coming to the right of Brody Lurch. Played to the point, shot through, snagged by Lurch, and he'll hold. For Brody Lurch now, that is 31 saves on 33 shots. Played to the point, shot through, took a deflection. Lurch kicked it away. Another shot comes through, knocked down in the slot. And then a big hit there as Wu got stood up by Andrew Faubert. Back through neutral ice, Rockets control. Into the zone comes Toledo. They'll dump it back down low. And this gets sent all the way back down. Icing will be called here against John Carroll. 8:05 to go in the third. Goals for your Rockets scored by Adam Ferreira and Nick Messier. Assists to Andrew St. Julian and Tristan Packelhofer. Meanwhile, Sean Deacon and Charlie Tuggy are on hat trick watch. They try to bring this one out in front and staying low. No, they score! They are able to bat it home! It's TK Mwamba finally getting on the board for the Rockets. John Carroll had kept him quiet all night, and you can see the relief on Mwamba as he was finally able to cash home on a goal-mouth scramble. The Rockets have it within 3 with 8 to go. Don't go anywhere just yet. Toledo looking for a push here. They've got behind the play. Packelhofer from behind gets caught up, and on the backhand, a good kick save by Brody Lurch. Tristan Packelhofer on the assist, along with, I would assume, Andrew St. Julian. But in any event, a big, big goal for the Rockets, as they are still just within striking distance, but they have got to really move with 7:30 to go. That all started with a great job to find Packelhofer behind the defense. He set up that entire rush. This one rolled all the way in on Mitchell. And it was right about at this point of the second period that Toledo found their offensive rhythm as well. And if they have one more push, now's the time to find it. But icing here going to go against the Rockets, with 6:55 left. John Carroll went to the point. Cavelli's shot blocked. He tried to send that on for Mwamba, but it was tied up right in his skates. Rockets got to be careful with it here. They turn it over. Deacon shot. Big blocker save by Mitchell. That was the dangerous Sean Deacon bidding for his hat trick, but denied by the blocker. Mwamba gains the zone, sends it in. Rockets looking to push here, but they get it out to Sean Deacon. Deacon leaves it for Tuggy, who left it for nobody in particular. But right back to Tuggy, backhand pass, 2 kick saves by Mitchell, and he gets it covered. 6 to go in the third. Now, Blake Mitchell has been absolutely peppered from right on top of the crease and has done a heck of a job to make as many saves as he has here tonight. Now 34 saves on his evening, and likely more than that with as much hacking and whacking as have gone on down in the goal mouth. Rockets get it out to neutral ice, but John Carroll will send it firing right back in. Players tied up behind, and that's going to be a penalty against Toledo. And still some conversation going on. It's officially a holding call. And it looks like guilty party going to be Dante Pellegrino. Pellegrino saying they were just tied up, but in he goes. It is power play number 8 for John Carroll. 5:42 to play here in the third period. Sean Deacon winds up, his shot deflected. Good job to block that by Lavrinchik. To the top for Tuggy. Deacon fired again, another shot blocked. This time eating that was Justin Beaverson. And he's slow to get up. That might have caught him in the back. .5:24 to go in the third, 1:42 to go in the penalty to the Rockets. They get it turned over. Tried to push that on for Lavrinchik, but it got behind him. John Carroll sent it back into the zone. And right in front, trying to knock that out of the air, was Zemrak. Deacon turns with it. Backhanded for Tuggy. Back for Deacon. His shot fought off by Mitchell. And coming forward now, shorthanded, St. Julian. Into the zone, but poked off the puck. Had his brother with him. Brother does win it back. Bouncing puck right through the goal mouth there. And that's going to be a slashing call there. Very easily against Andrew St. Julian. As John Carroll got the extra attacker on, but there's going to be 5-on-3 for 48 seconds. As Andrew St. Julian, I believe, is now that might be his 5th time in the box. And there's going to be 48 seconds of 5-on-3. And right now, Toledo kind of becoming their own worst enemy with these penalties. Deacon holds it at the point. John Carroll just working it around right now. Tried to slide that right through the goal mouth, but too fast for Martin. And we get a whistle here as the net comes off its moorings. 4:08 to play in the third. 27 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Deacon holds it at the point. John Carroll just content to move it around right now. Tried to throw that to the back door for Malley. 11 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Shot through, bouncing puck in the goal mouth, and that one just sent wide. Martin up to the point, another shot got deflected into the protective netting. That ends the first penalty. We'll get a minute 12 left of 5-on-4. John Carroll now with 42 shots on goal. Blake Mitchell is going to need a very cold beverage and several ice packs after this. As that one cleared all the way down with a minute 5 to go in the penalty. Big hit behind the play there as that puck held up at center ice, but John Carroll able to fight through. Held in at the point. Rockets trying to clear with it. Now they will. Play to the near side, and here comes Zemrak. Backhanded into the goal mouth, but deflected. Toledo, though, does not clear the puck. Deacon holds it at the point. Back to him. He tries to wind, doesn't have a shooting lane. Over for Tuggy. Deacon, shot blocked. Great job again to block it by Lavrinchik. Another shot deflected into the corner. Deacon takes a ride there from Lavrinchik, and they clear the zone. Simon Lavrinchek has had 4 or 5 huge shot blocks in this game as the penalty is over. 2:21 to go. Rockets passed that one nearly back to Blake Mitchell. As they gain the zone. Up at the point, Pellegrino shot through, they score! We'll see if it caught a deflection on the way in, but it looks like Dante Pellegrino is going to get his first of the evening, and with 2 minutes to go, Toledo are within 2. Don't go anywhere just yet. Now Kyle Measles signaling to Blake Mitchell on when to go. That one gets up into the protective netting and we'll get a whistle. Face-off controlled by the Blue Streaks. Andrew St. Julian gets his 3rd assist of the night. It is Pellegrino's goal. There goes Mitchell to the bench for the extra attacker. Net is empty for the Rockets. 1:33 to go. Rockets need 2. Played out to neutral ice. Winding up with it, Andrew St. Julian has 3 assists tonight. Holds, has Pellegrino at the point. Pellegrino's shot knocked down, loose in front, they score! It's Mwamba with his 2nd! Toledo are within 1 with 1:14 to go! That is at least twice now that Toledo have scored on goal mouth scrambles. And again, it's TK Mwamba, who went from silent all night to suddenly on hat trick watch. With 1:14 to go, can Toledo find one more to tie it? They'll first call a timeout. This game looked as good as done not 5 minutes ago, and now Toledo are suddenly within 1 with just over a minute to go. Kyle Measles and Scott Chantry giving both teams their instructions here on what will be an intense last minute and 14 seconds of regulation. This Rocket team continued to battle through penalty kills and big deficits. This was at one point a 5-goal lead for John Carroll. And with 1:14 to go, Blake Mitchell well up out of his crease. Rockets need control here. They've got that. There goes Mitchell to the bench. Net is empty again for the Rockets. We've got 1 minute to play. Rockets need 1 to tie. Digging for it on the far side boards. They win it to the point. Pellegrino looks for a shooting lane. Doesn't have one. Turned over. Look out. Here comes John Carroll. Sitting on Plinta. His shot blocked. Great job by Pellegrino. Didn't even have a stick. I don't know where that went. He's able to get a new one. St. Julian into the zone. That one turning. Shot just wide. That'll be icing against John Carroll, as a Blue Streak player is down, hurt as well behind the play. with 31 seconds to go. Being pulled apart there, Grayson Chell and Camden Martin. John Carroll asking for a trainer. And are we going to get penalties here as well after all this? So going in is going to be Grayson Chell. John Carroll player up. That is Tanner Plinta, who was upended earlier. And boy, if Toledo are going to have to go back on the penalty kill again after all of that. Shots officially 42-40 now in favor of John Carroll. The Toledo offense has really woken up, but now they are really going to have to dig deep here. And sure enough, that will be indeed the only penalty going to Grayson Chell with 31 seconds to play here in the third period. Toledo have already used their timeout. Faceoff will be in neutral ice. So Toledo will see just how quickly they can get possession and trying to get Blake Mitchell back off just to even up the skaters. It'll be Mwamba to take the faceoff against Anthony LaGreca. And now Mwamba heads off. Toledo might have been looking to see who they wanted to match up with. And now it'll be Lavrinchik to take the faceoff for the Rockets. 31 seconds to go. Toledo on their 10th penalty kill. But they will get control here. They wind up. Mitchell heads to the bench. Toledo get their fifth skater out. Net is empty. 15 seconds to go. Rockets have got to get it into the goal mouth. 8 seconds left. Turning shot. Right there in front and dropping to cover it, Lurch with 4 seconds left. Toledo will get one more chance. Toledo have already used their timeout. John Carroll bench not electing to go to theirs. Big face-off right here, won by the Rockets, but right to a John Carroll stick. And that will do it. The comeback effort just coming up short. But the Rockets battling the whole way back from 5-goal deficits and nearly pulled it off down at the end. But John Carroll will head back to the Cleveland area victorious and sweeping Toledo this weekend. A well-fought effort from the Rockets, who got 2 goals from TK Mwamba in the third period. A goal from Dante Pellegrino, Tristan Packeloffer with 2 assists. Andrew St. Julian, 3 assists, and I believe 5 penalties. An active night for him. Adam Ferreira and Nick Messier, the goal scorers as well for the Rockets. For John Carroll, again, 2 goals for Charlie Tuggy and an assist for him. Ben Nadzem with an assist. Charlie Maroon and Tanner Plinta. 2 goals, Sean Deacon, Sam Hurry, and Austin Malley with goals of their own. We appreciate you tuning in tonight here from the Team Toledo Ice House. I've been Ben Wilcox. Thanks for watching.